For over a decade, Pinterest was something truly special in the social media landscape. It was not trying to be another Facebook or Twitter. Instead, it carved out its own identity as a visual discovery engine built entirely on authentic human curation. Think about what that actually means. Every pin you scrolled past was put there by a real person who genuinely wanted to share something they loved, or created. When you searched for wedding centerpiece ideas, you were seeing actual centerpieces that actual people had actually made. When you looked up watercolor techniques, you were learning from real artists who had spent years perfecting their craft. The platform became a sanctuary for creative minds. DIY enthusiasts shared step-by-step tutorials. They had photographed themselves home renovators, documented their real projects complete with the messy reality behind those beautiful after-shots. Artists built reference boards filled with images they carefully selected, creating personal libraries of inspiration that others could learn from too. This authenticity attracted a massive audience at its peak. More than 450 million people visited Pinterest. Every month they came because they trusted what they would find. They knew that behind every beautiful image was a real human being with real experience and genuine passion. The magic was in the human connection. You were not just collecting images, you were tapping into the collective creativity of millions of people who wanted to help each other make things, bake things, build things, and dream bigger. It felt like an enormous, global creative community, where everyone was welcome, and every idea had value. That was the promise of Pinterest, a place where real people shared real inspiration. A digital paradise for anyone who had ever wanted to make something with their own two hands, and for a long, wonderful time, it actually delivered on that promise. Let us rewind to late 2022. The generative AI revolution was just getting started. Tools like Midjourney, DALL-E, and Stable Diffusion burst onto the scene, and suddenly anyone could create stunning images with nothing but a text prompt. It felt like magic. But for Pinterest, it was the beginning of a slow-motion disaster. At first, the AI images trickled in a few experimental pins here and there, but then something shifted. Content creators realized that Pinterest's algorithm loved eye-catching visuals, and AI was really good at creating eye-catching visuals. The floodgates opened. By 2023, users started noticing something strange in their feeds. Perfect-looking cakes that could never exist in reality, wedding centerpieces with impossible geometry, hairstyles that no human hair could ever achieve. The platform that had built its reputation on authentic, achievable inspiration was now serving up digital fantasies. The scale of this invasion is staggering. Some users report that up to 80% of their search results are now AI-generated content. One Reddit user put it bluntly. They said Pinterest is becoming unusable because it prioritizes automation over actual human creativity. But here's where it gets really problematic. Many of these AI pins link back to content farm websites stuffed with advertisements. It is a profit machine. Generate endless AI images, upload them to Pinterest, and watch the ad revenue roll in from users clicking through. The term that keeps coming up in community discussions is enshittification. It sounds funny, but it captures something real. A platform that once connected people with genuine ideas and real creators is slowly drowning in what users are calling AI slop. And for the artists and small businesses who built their livelihoods on Pinterest's community, the timing could not be worse. Let me tell you about Caitlin Jones. For 5 years, she used Pinterest every week to find recipes for her son. One evening in September, she spotted what looked like the perfect dinner. It was a creamy chicken and broccoli slow cooker recipe. The photo showed golden cheddar cheese melting over tender chicken with a bright pop of parsley on top. She checked the ingredients, added them to her grocery list, and headed to the store, but something was off. The recipe instructed her to start by, and I quote, logging the chicken into the slow cooker. Not cooking it, not placing it, logging it. That bizarre phrasing was her first clue that something was wrong. Confused, she clicked through to the recipe blog's About page. There she found a woman beaming at the camera with impossibly perfect hair and golden light bouncing off her apron. The biography was vague and generic. The woman's name was supposedly Susan Thorne, but Susan does not exist. A quick Google search turned up absolutely nothing. The woman was AI generated. The entire blog was a fabrication by this point. Jones had already bought all the ingredients. She made the dish anyway. It was watery, bland, and left a bad taste in her mouth, both literally and figuratively. This is what happens when AI content floods. A platform built on trust. Pinterest became valuable because real people shared real experiences. You could find a recipe and trust that someone had actually cooked it. You could find a DIY project and know that someone had actually built it. Now, users are clicking through beautiful images only to discover empty AI-generated blog posts with no substance behind them. The recipes do not work, the craft projects cannot be replicated, the home decor does not actually exist. What looks like inspiration is actually a dead end. Let me tell you about Tiana Orglia, an artist who used Pinterest as her digital library for years. She stored reference photos, their anatomy studies, inspiration for her work. But recently, something changed. Pinterest's AI moderators started flagging her pins left and right. A photo of a muscular woman in a bikini flagged, a painting of two clothed women embracing flagged, even a stock photo of a man holding a gun got slapped with a self-harm warning. Every time this happens, Tiana has to appeal. Wait for a human to review it. Wait for them to realize the AI made a mistake. It steals hours from her day, hours she should be spending making art. And here is the really frustrating part. While real artists fight to keep their authentic work visible, they are also watching AI-generated content flood their feeds. Some creators have discovered their own hand-drawn pieces, automatically labeled as AI-modified. Imagine building your brand around being 100% human, made only to have Pinterest slap an AI tag on your work. You appeal, you win. And then it happens again with your next post. One artist described it as an endless loop that takes up to 48 hours to resolve each time. The economic damage is real. Two creators who built their businesses on Pinterest traffic are watching their reach collapse. They cannot compete with unlimited AI content that floods the platform daily. One creator put it simply, they feel unsafe uploading anything now, never knowing which pin will disappear overnight, without warning, without explanation, without even an email to tell them why. This is what the creator exodus looks like. Not a dramatic departure, but a slow erosion. Artists spending more time fighting algorithms than creating. Small business owners watching their livelihoods shrink, and eventually they just stop, they leave, and Pinterest loses the very thing that made it valuable in the first place. Pinterest finds itself in an impossible position. Right now, the platform is essentially fighting a war on two fronts, and losing both battles at the same time. On one side, they are desperately trying to combat the flood of AI-generated spam that is drowning their platform. On the other side, they are actively using artificial intelligence to power their own moderation systems. The irony here is painful. Here is what makes this so complicated. Pinterest has rolled out AI labeling features meant to identify and flag synthetic content. Sounds like a good idea in theory, but in practice, their detection systems are labeling genuine hand-drawn art as AI-generated real artists are getting caught in an endless loop of appeals, waiting 24 to 48 hours for each decision to get reversed, only to have their next piece of artwork flagged all over again. Meanwhile, the actual AI slop keeps flooding in search for something simple like healthy recipe ideas, and you will find AI-generated food images, linking back to spammy blogs with fake authors. These fake food bloggers have AI-generated headshots and no last names, yet they are ranking in the top results. The moderation AI is also incorrectly flagging legitimate artistic reference photos, female anatomy studies, even fully clothed figures are getting pulled down automatically. Artists have to appeal these decisions, repeatedly wasting precious time they could spend actually creating art. Users are noticing the double standard. Pinterest claims to use both human reviewers and automated systems, but frustrated creators say it feels impossible to reach an actual person. The platform that built its reputation on authentic human creativity is now caught in a paradox. They need AI to fight AI, but their AI tools are hurting the wrong people. This is the trap that many platforms are falling into. The solution becomes part of the problem, and for Pinterest, the clock is ticking. So where does Pinterest go from here? The platform stands at a critical fork in the road, and the path it chooses will determine whether it survives or slowly fades into irrelevance. On one side lies the death spiral. If Pinterest continues down its current path, prioritizing AI-generated content and chasing short-term engagement metrics, it risks alienating its core user base entirely. These are the people who made Pinterest special in the first place: the crafters, the designers, the home cooks, and the artists who came looking for real inspiration from real people. Without them, Pinterest becomes just another content farm filled with synthetic images that no one trusts, and once that trust is completely broken, it is nearly impossible to rebuild. But there is another path Pinterest could choose: to fight for authenticity. Imagine verified creator badges that help users identify real artists and makers. Think about robust AI detection systems that automatically flag synthetic content, giving users the power to filter it out entirely. Community moderation tools could let users report AI slop and help clean up the platform from the ground up. These solutions are technically possible. The question is whether Pinterest has the will to implement them. The stakes here extend far beyond one platform. If AI kills Pinterest, what happens next? Instagram, TikTok, Google Images, and countless other platforms face the same flood of synthetic content. We are heading toward an internet where human creativity gets buried under an avalanche of AI-generated material, where searching for inspiration means sifting through endless artificial approximations of art, never knowing if what you are seeing was made by a person or a machine. Pinterest became successful because it offered something rare: a space where human creativity could flourish and inspire others. That foundation is worth protecting. The question now is whether anyone at Pinterest is listening to the users pleading for change, or if the platform will simply become another cautionary tale about what happens when technology forgets the humans it was meant to serve.